Welcome to the Rapid Research Podcast, where two friends answer the big questions after searching the internet for 30 minutes. Welcome into Rapid Research, episode 7. We're here. I'm Tyler Juvenile, here with my good friend Joel Montgomery, right across the table.
Hey, how we doing? Be sure to be following us on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Spotify. Give us a 5-star rating, all the good things. Tyler, what are we talking about this week?
We're talking about one of my favorite topics ever, and that is pizza. I think pizza is a great thing. We're going to be looking at, everything. Everything about pizza.
Everything. Are you specifically excited about anything in the pizza realm? Because I have some things I really want to dive into.
I enjoy thinking about it and looking forward to it and eating it. And so pretty much everything, if it reminds me of pizza, I'm going to be pretty happy about it.
Yeah, I think that describes like 95% of Americans.
I think so too.
Like, if someone ever hands me a pizza from pretty much anywhere with pretty much any toppings, I'm not going to be upset about it.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
Somebody hands you a fish. It's like, okay, what am I supposed to do with this?
yeah.
If somebody hands you a pizza, you're like, bet.
Yeah, of any kind. Like,
Yeah.
now, if I'm promised a specific kind of pizza and don't get that kind of pizza, then I'll be disappointed.
But that's promise etiquette. This is gifting
this
etiquette.
is like if I show up to a youth rally and they're like, all right, here's the pizza. My expectations
are already low.
are so low, and I'm going to enjoy it greatly. Like, it can be the most cardboard thing of all time, and I'll still enjoy it.
Is there a metric for you of pizza that you won't eat? Because, like, that's a pretty broad statement saying even if it's cardboard, I'll eat it, and be happy about it. If you buy a pizza, like, you're going to evaluate it based on how much you paid for it.
Right, and that goes a little bit against what I've said about coffee previously on this show. I feel like the price factor is a lot more important with pizza than it is with coffee.
Okay.
Because coffee, it's a very small margin, right? Like, if you're buying a medium coffee at Starbucks or medium coffee at Dunkin' Donuts, it's what, like $1 difference? Maybe two at most?
Yeah.
If you're buying a medium pizza at Domino's versus a medium pizza at Papa John's, that's like a $5 or $6 difference.
And then a medium pizza at DiGiorno's in Chicago, or no, not DiGiorno's.
DiGiorno's is like $2. It's not delivery.
No. If you're buying a medium pizza at, what's the one in Chicago?
Giordano's.
Yeah. Okay, that's going to be
like
pricey.
$25. Yeah.
And then I think it's more than that. I'm pretty sure it's more
Really?
than that. Yeah. Well, and then you go to a mom and pop Italian pizza place, it's going to be pretty pricey as well.
Yeah, you're talking at least probably for a small $17-18.
Yeah.
Easy.
You can easily for 3 pizzas, you're easily spending $80
Yeah.
at a mom and pop shop
As
rather
opposed
than
to
$15 at Little Caesars.
Yeah, or $10 from the frozen aisle.
Right.
So I think that price to taste ratio is a lot more important with pizza than it would be with my previous take on coffee, where I'm willing to spend $2 extra for an awesome cup of coffee. I'm not willing to spend $25 extra all the time for a slightly better pizza or even a really good pizza.
What about burgers?
Burgers? That's somewhere in the mid zone for me.
For me, I'm not willing to spend more than $20 on a burger.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
I would be willing to spend $20 on a pizza, but not on a burger, because I feel like in some ways there is a general cap on the quality of a burger. Like, wow, that's a good burger. Like, that's going to be the majority of good burgers.
Opposed to, wow, that's a good pizza being the majority of good pizza.
You have a very, very small percent of burgers that are like, that was a $50 burger. That was a $25.
Yeah, because there's only so
burger.
much you can do with ground beef.
Yeah, it's ground beef.
Yeah.
With pizza, you have all these different toppings that you can elevate in so many different ways. Now,
Right.
you can do that with a burger, for sure.
Yeah, but if the burger, it's always the point of the burger is always going to be the hamburger that's in it,
Yep.
right? And so everything has to be put around it to elevate the burger. If
Unless you grind up a ribeye.
right, it's going to be the meat, right? Whatever the meat is what has to be the star of that dish. If you're going to make a pizza that's super fancy, you can do whatever you want.
So coffee theory
Yeah.
is it's okay to spend a couple more dollars because the difference is going to be very, very much, and it's worth the difference for a couple bucks.
Yeah.
Pizza theory is that it's not worth the extra couple bucks because it's not going to elevate the base pizza.
Pretty much.
Okay. Coffee theory or pizza theory for steaks.
Ooh. Coffee theory.
So where you would spend the extra money.
I would spend the extra money, an extra couple bucks for a really nice cut of steak.
Okay. Coffee theory or pizza theory for mozzarella sticks.
Pizza theory.
You're just so if it's
Or-
$11
yeah.
for normal ones or $13 for bougie ones.
How are you gonna bouge up a mozzarella stick?
The breading is fresh, ground up
That's
sourdough.
true. That's actually tough. You may have convinced me. I might have to go coffee theory on mozz.
Okay. Ice cream. $7 or $10 for a bougie ice cream sundae.
Coffee theory.
Okay, where you're gonna go the extra
I
mile.
would go the extra mile for a really nice sundae.
Cereal.
I don't eat cereal. I'm gonna be real, I haven't eaten
Smoothies.
smoothies. Coffee theory.
Chicken nuggets.
Pizza theory.
Chicken tenders.
Coffee theory.
Oh,
Yes.
so you'd go up.
There's only so much you can do to a chicken nugget.
Sauces.
Sauces. Coffee theory.
Okay. Well, there you go. That was a tangent for sure. But now we have established coffee theory and pizza theory, and I
Yep.
feel like that's a good.
That's going to come up later.
It's a good working set of theories.
Mhm.
Where are you willing to spend the extra money in what you believe will be elevated actually by that extra money? Because sometimes they say, well, would you like to up your order to this? You can upgrade to this. And it's like, okay, does that actually improve anything? Like that's the real question. Is
Right.
will the couple dollars improve anything to a great degree? Coffee theory says yes. Pizza theory says no. For a couple dollars.
Yeah.
All right, on the show today, we have Crewed Up. We're going to be making a pizza for Gordon Ramsay, drafting the different ingredients for that pizza. We've got a new segment, Two Truths and a Lie. Looking forward to that. We got question of the day. What did we learn? All of those coming up here after the break. Ladies and gents, welcome back into episode 7. We're looking at pizza today. We've just taken a great deal of time, 30 minutes, to look into the history, the origin, the fun facts, all of the things about za.
Za?
You've never heard it called that?
I've never heard it called
Dude, welcome
that.
to the 21st century where we call it pizza za.
Okay. I don't
Grab
like
some
that.
zas. We need 3 zas for the game.
I'm usually okay with slang. I do not like this. I do not like za. I will start off though. So flatbreads is really
Yes.
where this all originated.
In the great country of...
Egypt is where I found.
I don't believe that's true.
So I found that flatbreads are really hard to pinpoint because the tradition of baking a somewhat thin piece of bread and putting food on it goes back a really long way.
So there's evidence of flatbread in ancient Egypt, Mesopotamia, and the Indus civilization, but that does not mean that pizza originated from Egypt, which, to be clear, you never said.
No, flatbreads go kind of everywhere. So I feel like it went from Egypt to Greece to Rome and kind of everywhere else at the same time. So
Into my belly.
into my belly.
I'm a big fan of pizza.
I
like.
know.
Okay, what are your favorite pizza toppings?
I really enjoy just a good meat lovers pizza.
Meat lover pizza is definitely my
Yeah.
go-to.
In very specific circumstances, I love a really good buffalo chicken pizza.
Yeah, okay.
Like
With barbecue sauce or with red sauce?
with a ranch base, usually. A buffalo chicken pizza.
Oh, okay. Then I've never had that.
Okay. Really?
Yeah, I've never had
You've never had a buffalo chicken pizza?
I've never had pizza with a ranch base. I dip it in ranch, to be very clear.
Yes.
That is one of the things that I absolutely love in life is ranch dipped pizza.
You cannot. This plays into our earlier conversation. The less quality of the pizza, the more you need ranch and Parmesan.
Yes, but also the more I enjoy using ranch.
Yes,
it does. It's still a good experience.
Right. Like if I have frozen pizza, I'm looking forward to the ranch and Parmesan a lot.
So much, and I even put like a sprinkle of olive oil and red pepper flakes all over it, and that elevates any cardboard pizza.
I usually put some olive oil on my pizza before I bake it. It just crisps it up.
So
Anyway.
back to
Flatbreads.
in Egypt.
Yes, Egypt, Greece, Rome. The interesting thing I found was that Persian soldiers would cook flatbreads on their shields.
Really?
Yes.
So they put their because their shields are metal.
Yeah, shields are metal.
So they put their
it's kinda
shields over the fire.
So it's kind of like how like workers used to cook meals on the hoods of their cars.
That is
They
wild.
would use their shields, and they.
Were there any pictures?
I didn't find any pictures. No,
Because there probably weren't pictures at that time.
I'm
in
guessing
history.
that they didn't do that. No, but we didn't get to modern pizza, like really truly modern pizza, until Naples. You think of flatbread, immediately you go to like a regular old tomatoes and onions and basil
Yeah.
flatbread. That didn't happen ever until tomatoes were brought in the 15th century. That's insane to me. It was actually considered a peasant's dish. They had no the royalty actually scoffed at pizza
Because
thought it was stupid.
It was simple. It was easy to eat.
It's cheap.
Yep.
Cheap to make, cheap to buy. Workers could come in and grab pizza, like a slice of pizza very quickly, or a flatbread pizza. It wasn't until Queen Margherita,
Yeah. Hence
hence the Margherita
the
pizza,
margarita pizza.
came to visit Naples, and a local pizza maker made a pizza in her honor, and he topped it with basil and cheese and tomatoes, which is the colors of the Italian flag.
Which is kind of cool.
Yeah, and so that's where it comes from.
And it didn't. Did you say it had a cheese on it initially? It had mozzarella.
I believe it was mozzarella, yes.
Because initial pizzas, I don't believe were. I don't think they were initially made with a whole lot of cheese.
No, I think. Well, yeah. So this says red, white, and green tomatoes, mozzarella, and basil was the idea, and I think it was originally where they'd have like a little clump, right? Like a little clump here and a little clump here and a little clump here.
Yeah.
Kind of like a Neapolitan style
Right.
pizza would have been originally how it was done. I love Neapolitan pizza.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're a fan of that, but where it's that like you have toppings over here and over here as opposed to just one cohesive whole.
Right.
I love that. It's so good.
It gives you more flavor of that bite. Like it makes every bite a little bit different.
Yeah.
Did you see the most expensive, or what's widely often referred to as the most expensive pizza?
I saw a couple, and then I did more research and found more expensive things. So tell me what you have.
The Louis VIII.
The Louis VIII pizza is insane.
So the Louis VIII pizza is a pizza that takes 72 hours to make. It's topped with 3 different types of caviar, lobster that's been braised in a certain type of champagne, sea truffles, and aged buffalo mozzarella. It's served with 3 different types of alcohol. It's made by chef Renato Viola in Italy. Takes 72 hours to make. How much do you think it costs? Do you know?
I saw it.
So
$12,000.
$12,000, not $1,200. $12,000.
And here's the thing.
You want a really nice, decent used SUV, or do you want a single pizza? It's like that.
If I was rich, I'd definitely try it.
Well, for sure.
Yeah, if I was rich, I would like There are people who are like, if I had money, I just wouldn't do anything with it. I just want a simple life. I'm like, no, go try the $12,000 pizza.
Like
Absolutely.
You probably would not drive the fanciest car.
No.
Nor would you probably have the fanciest house, but
No.
you would definitely
Try the fanciest foods.
and put on a lot of weight.
Yes, I definitely would. Though, to be fair, the fancier the food,
The more fresh
the more fresh and the more actually healthy it tends
and
to
probably
be.
portioned.
Yeah.
Probably decently portioned. Okay, that's probably fair. And okay, one of the things that I would love to do if I ever get to the point where I can do this would be to hire a personal chef. Like one that I can
Absolutely.
learn from and work with, because I like cooking, but I want consistent food through my life. Like if I could get someone who could take care of making sure that I'm eating the right food, the right content of food, the right amount of food, who is creative, because that's the main thing, is that I can be creative if I'm in the kitchen and I'm in that mood.
Yeah.
But I want to pay somebody to be food creative for me so that I'm eating good quality things.
You don't want to be consistently disappointed with your own creativity.
Right. And it's not saying that I would hire this person and never want to cook again. Like I would want to learn from them and cook with them in the kitchen, but I want them to take care of the menu planning. Menu planning is, I'm not very good at
Menu
it.
planning and grocery shopping for that menu planning. Like figuring out specifically, I need this stuff.
Yeah.
And also I need to know how much that stuff costs.
Dude, I would ask and request so much tzatziki and Mediterranean food.
Yes, you would.
I'm a massive Mediterranean fan.
That man would be named Luigi
Probably.
because that's the style of food that you want.
Or Mama Maria.
Mama Maria would probably do it for free.
She probably would. She probably would. But yeah, so very expensive pizza, $12,000 for the Louis VIII.
I did see that you can.
Oh,
within
13th.
That,
Louis the 13th.
yes, within that $12,000, they will come make it at your house.
Really?
Yeah, I did see that. You could request for them to come make it.
Oh, I wouldn't want
with you.
that.
No, I want to go somewhere.
Yeah, I'm going
You
out.
could order it online.
Really?
I was like, who in the world is ordering a 12,000? That's like, no. I am not having a $12,000 pizza door dashed. Like, that pizza won't make it, dude. Like,
No,
it will not make it.
I am going to go eat that pizza.
Yep. Let's talk about Australia for a second.
Okay.
I just thought this was interesting. As with anywhere you go to, you're going to find specific pizza toppings to that region.
Correct.
Right? Australia has an Aussie pizza where you can get kangaroo, emu,
Ooh.
and crocodile on your pizza.
Does it look good? Did you see a picture of it?
It looked decent. Yeah.
I'd eat it.
You can also
Absolutely.
get
every day of the week.
You can also get Vegemite.
What's Vegemite?
It's like Marmite.
What's Marmite?
Is
it a food?
It is a food. Vegemite is specific to Australia. Marmite is more specific to
Marmite
Britain.
is a British savory food spread based on yeast extract.
Mm-hmm.
That's odd. So it's not like a jelly.
Yeah. Vegemite is a thick, dark brown Australian food spread made from leftover brewer's yeast extract.
Does it taste good?
No. I think not to us. I think a lot of Aussies...
It has a strong, salty, and savory flavor with hints of umami and a slightly bitter edge, often described as similar to a concentrated soy sauce or beef bouillon. And they put it on toast?
Mm-hmm. I think...
Why is Vegemite not sold in the U.S.? Because it sucks.
Vegemite... I think Vegemite is to Australia what Spam is to us.
Can we eat petroleum? You know,
Yeah, no, seriously, that's what it is. Like, but yeah, you can get that on a pizza. Oh, yeah.
That doesn't seem very good. You can order it on Amazon.
We should order it. We should try it.
No, we shouldn't. I'd rather eat Nutella.
All right, what else you got?
The first frozen pizza was created in the 1950s, which tracks. There's nothing really surprising about that. I feel like Americans made frozen pizza. Specifically, Totino's made the first frozen pizza.
Oh, it was Totino's.
What's going on in the mind of Americans when we made frozen pizzas? Is it we have established that we value this food so much that we want to eat it every day? Or was it the opposite, where we've established that this food is not really a high-end product, and so we want to just make it available to people every day? Like, what does frozen food say about the quality of the food itself?
The first pizza delivery was 1960.
Okay.
So we had frozen pizza before we had delivered pizza, which is insane to me. Because I would have thought that it went the other way around. You're paying to go get pizza. Now you're paying to have someone bring you pizza. Why not just pay to have pizza ready for you to bake?
Sure.
But instead it went, go get pizza. Oh, we just bake it ourselves. Oh, well, we'll just have somebody bring it to us.
Or you could DoorDash Papa Murphy's and do it all.
Right. Which is the most insane business model.
It's so good.
It's so good. I love Papa Murphy's. I grew up with Papa Murphy's.
It's incredible pizza. There's something about it. It has a specific taste, and it's really, really good.
Who had the unmitigated gall to start a pizza place where it's like, you know what? All we're going to do it's dough, and, oh, you want pepperoni? Here you go. Go make it yourself.
It's incredible.
It's insane.
It's perfect for those weekday nights when you have something going on in the evening and you just need a quick supper that's good. All you had to do is pick it up at lunchtime or pick it up on your way home from work and bring it home, throw it in the oven, and you've got a really nice meal.
Yeah.
But what does frozen pizza say about America? Does it say that we value convenience at the expense of quality?
Yeah. That's exactly what it says.
I think it does.
And I think we've also now learned to appreciate different levels of quality differently, right?
We've learned to appreciate different levels of convenient quality.
Right. Because if you and I went...
Because DiGiorno's is way out of the park of Jack's and Roma.
I love me some Jack's.
It's not as good as DiGiorno's. It's not as good as Red Baron.
I feel like Jack's is the perfect frozen pizza, though. Like, because DiGiorno, the toppings don't work as well frozen. Like, Jack's is a straight, thin crust, maybe sausage, but mostly pepperoni.
It is the definition of cardboard.
Yeah, I love it. I'm aware, like, if I want...
So this has shaped our mindset on pizza.
Yes, it definitely has, because I want frozen pizza that I can dip in ranch dressing and put Parmesan on.
Do you see fresh pizza meaning actually made in a restaurant, not frozen? Do you see that as an entirely different food than frozen pizza?
Kind of, yeah. Like, if I'm craving pizza.
Because there's no way that you look forward to Jack's just like you look forward to
I look forward to them very differently.
Yeah.
Because Jack's is Jack's is a go-to product. Right? I might get in my car at the end of the day going, yeah, I was planning on having a pizza tonight, a frozen pizza tonight. Okay. I'm not spending a lot of money on it. It's just something I'm enjoying. If I'm going to get Papa John's or Pizza Hut or whatever, it's something that requires extra steps. It's something that I'm specifically thinking about in a different connotation and something I'm thinking about in a different price point. So I'm looking at them and tasting them in my head differently.
Yeah.
I'm not just saying, oh, I want pizza, frozen. Or I might go, oh, I want pizza. What kind of pizza do I want? Do I want pizza I can dip, or do I want pizza that I can just eat on its own? And if I want eat on its own pizza, I'm ordering out.
Because pizza is different in the quality spectrum than steak is. With steak, you have a far more consistent product. Obviously, you have super, super high-end steaks, and you also have sirloin, which sirloin is not bad, but sirloin is closer to your highest-end steaks than Jack's is to Chicago-style deep dish or downtown New York or downtown Detroit mom-and-pop shop.
Yeah. I think my end argument is the cheaper quality pizzas are a separate product.
Okay.
Are essentially, like, I'm buying a different thing. I'm not buying the same thing at a lesser value. I have learned, at least, to separate those into different categories.
And I think that's right, because like I would see pizza rolls as closer to Jack's Pizza than I would Balistreri's Italian family restaurant.
Right. Or combos, pizza combos. Like that's
I find those as yeah, those are closer to Jack's Pizza
yeah.
than Balistreri's.
Or Pringles that are flavored like
Yeah,
pizza.
so
those things are all based off of cheap pizza.
They are. Yeah, they are not based on
No.
true Italian
At
pizza.
best, they are based on Domino's, Pizza Hut,
Yep.
like basic.
So frozen pizza does,
It's a different entity.
yes, it is a very, very different entity. What else you got?
I have the world record cheese pizza for how many different types of cheese went onto this pizza. Did you see this?
No.
How many you want to guess? How many cheese?
120?
You're not too far off. It's 111.
Whoa.
It's 111 cheeses. The insane thing is this is a normal sized piece of pizza.
Oh.
This is a normal
Dude, that's
like
got to have so much cheese
it's
on it.
like a like little over half pound pizza, like normal size. And it doesn't look like it has 111 different types of cheese
So it
on
has
it.
like one slice
He
of
he
each.
specifically, the guy who created it, specifically measured out 2.6 grams of each cheese, which comes down to about a little under an ounce of each cheese.
That is meticulous.
And so
No. You can't have. That's not just a little under an ounce. That means you have 100 ounces of cheese.
Yeah, I plugged in the numbers, but I plugged them in quickly, so I may not have gotten it right. But regardless,
It's a lot of types
it's a lot
of
of cheese. And he said the cool thing is because it's you can't just get a cohesive cheese flavor that way. So every bite is going to taste like.
Oh, did he put them like in different sections on the pizza?
Well, yeah, because you have 111 types of cheese in this much 12 inches, and so if you take the tiniest bit and go, and the another tiniest bit and go, another tiniest bit and go, it's not going to go one flavor of cheese.
Right.
It's going to be these 5 flavors here and these 5 flavors here, and so every bite of that pizza tastes like different kinds of cheese.
Which is unique because cooked cheese has a very cooked cheese has a tough flavor palette. Like it is not the most in the front flavor. Like I find cheese to be a very background filling flavor. Where if you don't have cheese you recognize it. But having cheese on it, you don't always recognize the flavor right up at the front. But if it's only a cheese pizza and it has 111 different types of cheeses, like that's a wild ride.
Yeah. I bet it's good.
Probably.
I bet, like, as the Midwestern part of me wants to try that pizza. Badly,
yes, I love that.
Really badly.
Chicago style deep dish. It would be a sin of us not to discuss Chicago style deep dish. I didn't realize the story about Chicago.
Okay.
There were these two dudes, brothers, who wanted to start a restaurant. And
This is in Chicago?
Yeah, in Chicago. This is pretty much historical truth, but some people see it more as a legend. Other people are like, no, this is like what happened. These two brothers, according to the legend, they want to start a restaurant, and so they went to this Mexican joint, because who doesn't love Mexican? And they went and they got, one guy got one thing, the other guy got enchiladas. And Ike, the brother who got the enchiladas,
Ike,
the brother who got the enchiladas, was not very happy with the portion, and he also got sick from the enchiladas.
Oh, no.
And so they walked out, he got sick, and they're like, well, guess we can't do a Mexican restaurant. And so they went and they're like, well, what about pizza? How can we make pizza better? And they're like, how about deeper? We want more food, more of a portion. And so that's how they made Chicago-style deep dish. So it almost didn't happen. Had the enchiladas been a little bit more flavorful and bigger portion and not sickly, then who knows? We might not have Chicago-style deep dish.
Wow.
Which
Chicago-style enchiladas would be insane.
What would that be?
Just like the thickest thick boy enchiladas.
How many tortillas are you putting around that thing?
Like 12.
You have 12 tortillas around this enchilada with cheese in between every layer
Yes.
of the tortillas.
It's a quesarito lasagna at this
Well,
point.
you know how they at Taco Bell they have the grilled cheese
Yeah.
burritos where they put cheese on the outside, they grill it, and then you could put another layer, grill it, another layer, grill it. That is a heart attack.
Yeah.
That's really not.
We need to get off of this one.
That's
really
not good.
interesting.
But
though.
anyway, Chicago style deep dish, now it's a thing. Hot take. I'm not a big fan of Chicago style deep dish. I don't see it as pizza. I see it more as a pie. I see it as a very, very different thing. I'm okay with eating it. Like, I'm not disappointed. But when I eat it, I'm not like, oh, this is the best thing in the world. Because I've had a lot of different types of cheese. I've had a lot of different types of pizza. And it whelms me.
That's fair. I really enjoy Chicago deep dish. I enjoy it once every 2 years. Mm-hmm. You know, where I'm like, this is so good, and then I
Right.
don't want to have it again for another 2 years.
Right.
You know, because it's so much, and it's so unique. And you're right, it is a pie. It's not a. I don't consider it's in its own category.
Yeah.
So
It's very different. That's all I got on pizza's history. That
I have
sort of
one
stuff.
more.
All right, what do you got?
I would like to introduce you to Dan and Frank Carney.
Good guys, they sound like.
So Dan and Frank, 1950s. Dan was 26, Frank was 19.
Okay.
Brothers. And they really wanted to open a restaurant. And a friend from the eastern United States told them,
Massachusetts, we're going to call it.
sure,
Friend from Mass.
yeah, told them that they should try opening a pizza restaurant.
Hey, you guys got to try a pizza No, it'd be lobster.
I'm really impressed if you pull
Hey,
this
you
out.
guys got to try a pizza. No, that's
You just went to Australian.
good.
We're going to sit here until
Hey,
Tyler gets a
the-
Boston accent.
The lobster out here, Bahaba.
You're
down in Massachusetts.
You're still in Sydney, dude. Like,
Bahaba. Okay.
Bahaba.
Bahaba. Oh yeah. Chamberlain. Okay. Bahaba. Hey, you gotta open a pizza restaurant. That's okay. I'm just gonna. Do you have one?
If you're in Boston, it's going to sound, hey, you got to open a pizza restaurant out there in Wichita. Isn't that Boston?
That's not bad. Okay, let's make it New York. He's like, hey, Tony, you gotta open a pizza
His
restaurant.
name was Dan, but
Dan, Criminal Dan, you gotta open a pizza restaurant.
criminal Dan. Anyways,
Don Dan, you gotta open a pizza restaurant. Anyway,
so they're in Wichita, Kansas.
down there in Wichita, they ain't got no pizza restaurants.
So the friend told him, try it out.
Try out a pizza restaurant.
Thing is, Dan and Frank, in all likelihood, had never eaten pizza.
Oh,
So think about it. Pizza comes from Naples.
right.
It comes to the eastern United States. It's in New York. It's in Boston. It's in maybe hitting Chicago.
Okay.
It's never touched the Midwest.
No, they wouldn't know what to do with it.
Right. So a friend calls them up and like, hey, you should try making pizza. And they're like, okay, what's pizza? And so they basically just experiment. They have nothing to go on. They just start experimenting, like taking like mom's like sourdough recipe and trying to put that. Okay, let's try maybe this kind of tomato sauce might work. And so they experiment for a while. They buy a small building and they put this pizza that's basically very kind of bread heavy, which is not how Italians make it. Mm-hmm. Bread heavy pizza, rich tomato sauce. They buy this little shack with a red roof, and the sign on the outside only has space for 8 letters, so they name it Pizza Hut.
Nice.
And this is basically the birth of the American pizza.
We don't know how to do it.
We don't know how to do it.
Brooklyn said we got to make
And
it.
it's the most Midwestern thing you can think of.
It's like, hey, well, yeah, we can figure it out.
Yeah, it's well, it's just bread. So they just put bread and baked it with sauce and cheese.
That is the Midwest, though. Yes. It is, do we know how to do this? No. Have we been taught how to do this? No. Could we figure it out? Probably. It's not yes. It's probably.
It's like
we can make something work.
Yes.
Right.
The Midwest is like the most hick place that actually gets things done.
Yeah.
and so anyway, that was the birth of Pizza Hut and kind of the birth of the modern American style of pizza.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Because we had a bunch of Americans try it who'd never tried it before.
Yeah, most American pizza is relatively thick crust.
Right, and Italians do not do it like that. It's more of a, I think, it's more of a thin crust.
Yeah, more of either a thin floppy or kind of like your...
almost a flatbread.
Yeah, flatbread. Yeah. All right, you ready to move on?
Yeah.
Moving on.
Crude up, crude up, crude up, crude up.
Crude up.
All right, for this crude up, we are going to be putting together a team to make one pizza per person for Gordon Ramsay. We want to give him the best pizza possible. We are going to be drafting snake style the pizza toppings that we'll put on it, as well as the cheese, as well as the sauce, as well as the crust. You can't copy anything. It's got to be a different types of toppings, crust, and sauce. All right, rock, paper, scissors. Best out of one. Ready? Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Gotcha. I'm going first. All right, I get first pick. Joel gets 2 in a row after that. We can do this in any order. I'm going to begin by taking the sauce. No, I'm not. I'm going to begin by taking the crust. I'm going to go with a focaccia crust. So focaccia bread is like a flatbread. Typically, it has pressed inside of it different things like tomatoes or pieces of mozzarella. It has baked within it some different textures and different things. So focaccia bread is going to be my crust.
I'm going to start by taking my sauce.
Okay.
My sauce is going to be herbed olive oil base.
Oh.
Yes. So I'm going for more of the traditional.
You're going
oil.
traditional, yeah.
Yes. And I'm going to go with my first topping. We said 2 toppings, right?
Yeah.
My first topping is going to be fresh mozzarella. Not blocked mozzarella.
And not your
mozzarella.
cheese.
And
not your cheese.
Oh, excuse me. Yes, I meant my cheese. Sorry. My cheese is going to be fresh mozzarella.
Okay.
Okay.
So you've got fresh mozzarella and no real sauce except for an herbed olive oil.
An herbed olive oil.
It's not creamy or anything. It's just olive oil mixed with some herbs.
Herbs, I'd say basil, some more of Italian seasonings.
Okay.
Yes. That's where I'm going.
All right, my turn. I get 2. I'm going to take 2 of my toppings here. I'm going to take prosciutto, which is a nice aged ham. I'm going to take prosciutto, and I'm gonna keep this one a pretty salty pizza. I'm gonna go prosciutto and nice thick cut American bacon.
So you've got a focaccia base with bacon and prosciutto.
Yep. I'm going for the savory for this one.
This is really interesting. Okay.
I don't find it super interesting. I find it very tasty.
It sounds good. I'm going to go with my crust next. I'm going to take a Neapolitan style crust, which is a thin, where it kind of bakes up around.
Okay.
A very thin crust.
So a thin crust, but with a thicker
kind of a thick
edge.
outside that kind of bakes up around.
Okay.
Yes.
Gotcha.
And then for my second topping, I am going to take or my first topping. I'm sorry, I forgot about it. I'm getting my cheese and toppings mixed up. I'm going to take shaved Parmesan.
For your first topping.
for my first topping.
Okay, so you're going mozzarella and Parmesan.
Yeah. So mozzarella is kind of my cheese that is going to be more consistently around, and then shaved Parmesan on top of that.
Okay. All right, I've got my last two here. I've got a cheese and I've got my sauce, and this will round out my pizza here. Round out. For my cheese, I'm going to take Fontina cheese, which is a nutty, melty cheese that I think it'll balance the prosciutto and it'll balance the bacon because it's a very smooth but nutty type of cheese. So it'll absorb some of that. And then my sauce is going to be your typical tomato basil sauce. So pretty heavy on the basil. I want that to come out very strong.
Gotcha. Okay, I just have my last topping, which is going to be Roma tomatoes.
So you're putting no meat on this thing?
No, I'm going straight.
What are you doing,
I'm going to go straight
Joel?
cheese, olive oil again. So
You're going on the Weight Watchers
I've basically made a semi-deconstructed margarita.
Okay.
Where I'm going with more of I'm going with the Romas. The Romas are the little ones, right?
No, those are cherries.
Cherries is what I meant to say.
Romas are the big dogs.
Sorry.
Not as big as beef
I'm not
steak,
putting a
but
whole.
pretty big.
I'm not putting a whole Roma. I'm putting the cherry tomatoes. That's what I meant to say.
Okay.
So
Cut in half or whole?
Whole.
Oh.
So as they're baked against that mozzarella and shaved Parmesan, you're gonna get a literal burst of tomato flavor, along with the olive oil underneath of it, and that fresh mozzarella is gonna round it off with the Parmesan, giving like that ping, like earthy flavor on top of it.
Okay.
That's my pizza for Gordon.
Are you putting any herbs on top? Are you sprinkling it with anything?
I would probably sprinkle it with a few herbs. Yeah.
Okay. I would definitely go basil and oregano. Yeah, for sure. But all right, from the top, I've got focaccia crust with a tomato basil sauce, Fontina cheese, and prosciutto and bacon on top.
All right. I've got a Neapolitan crust with an oil base, fresh mozzarella, shaved Parmesan, and cherry tomatoes.
Aha. Very good. All right, you guys, vote in the comments on whose pizza you think is better. I think it's mine, but we'll leave that up to you guys. Figure it out for us here, and we'll move on.
Okay, we're going to be doing the old classic Two Truths and a Lie about pizza today. Tyler, would you like to go first?
I would. All right. Basically, the way this is going to work, I'm going to give you 3 statements. You have to define what is true, what is false, and then if you correctly identify the lie, you get a point.
Okay. I feel like that was basically summed up in the name of the game, but yeah.
Yes. Yeah, for those of you out there who have
pretty basic rules.
For those of you out there who have never been part of youth group, you may not have heard of this game.
I feel like everybody has heard of Two Truths and a Lie.
You think it's just one of those things that we're born with as humans?
Pretty much.
Like, you know this, and you know the ABCs.
I feel like our audience is smart enough to hear, we're going to play Two Truths and a Lie, and not be like, oh, is that like Scrabble? Like...
It could be. Who knows?
Like, nobody hears Two Truths and Lie and goes, I wonder how that game's played.
Okay,
Nobody's ever done that.
Fine, Joel. All right, Two Truths and a Lie. Here we go. My first set is this. Number 1, the Hawaiian pizza with pineapple and ham was invented in Alabama. Number 2, the first pizza delivery service was started in 1960 by a pizzeria in Italy. And number 3, the world's largest pizza was made in Rome in 2012 and measured over 1,261 square meters, about 13,000 feet. The pizza was gluten-free.
Okay, I saw the last one. I know that one's true.
So
gonna
then you're
say
left with, you saw the what? The last one?
the last one is one I did see.
So
in
you
the
saw the
research.
one about the largest pizza being gluten-free.
Yes.
Okay. So then you're left with first pizza delivery service was started in 1960 by a pizzeria in Italy. And then the Hawaiian pizza invented in Alabama.
I think it's the Hawaiian pizza being in Alabama
Is the
lie.
lie. Is that your final answer?
That's my final answer.
That is correct.
Because it was in Canada, right?
Yes,
I've
the
heard
Haw-
this before. I
the
didn't see
Hawaiian
it today.
pizza was invented by a guy in Ontario, Canada, and he was not Hawaiian or Canadian.
Oh, no.
Yes, his name was Sam Panopoulos. He was a Greek immigrant, and so it was Hawaiian pizza was made in Canada by a Greek guy.
Nice. That's how it be. Okay. I'm actually going to give you 3 toppings.
Okay.
And tell me which one is the lie in Japan. Which of these is not a semi-easily
Like a
obtainable
normal
topping in Japan?
Okay.
Okay. Boiled egg, mayo, or mochi?
Boiled egg, mayo, or mochi. I'm gonna leave mayo. I think mayo is a true.
Okay.
And I would go with boiled. I think boiled egg is the lie. I don't think people do that.
So you're leaving mayo and mochi.
Yep.
You are incorrect. It was mochi.
Oh,
Boiled
John.
egg is rather accessible as a topping.
Well, that stinks. That puts me at 0 and you at 1.
Okay, you ready? Oh, I'm sorry.
Yep, I'm ready. All right, here we go. Number 1. Pizza Hut was the first pizza chain to deliver pizza to space in 2001. Number 2. The most expensive pizza ever made was topped with real dinosaur bones as a luxury garnish, baked, quote, to unlock the ancient flavors. Number 3. The average American eats about 23 pounds of pizza each year.
That middle one really threw me for a loop.
Which one? The one? Oh, the one with the
dinosaur
dinosaur.
bones?
Yep.
23 pounds of pizza a year sounds about right.
Do you think so?
But I think
Like how many pieces of pizza make a pound? You'd think maybe 4.
maybe 4.
4 decent sized pieces.
Yeah. Average American probably eats 2 in a meal.
Mm-hmm.
I think the first one is true.
Which is Pizza Hut.
Pizza Hut.
First pizza chain
Unless
to
it-
deliver space in 2001.
Unless. You know what? I think that's actually the lie. I'm going to go that Pizza Hut, I think it was Papa John's. I think it's more on the lines of Papa John's did that, not Pizza Hut.
Is that your final answer?
That's my final answer.
That is incorrect.
No? Okay.
It was the dinosaur bones. That was a straight
okay.
lie.
Okay. I was like, I knew you were creative enough. I was like, that's so off the wall that I can't. I thought you were trying to trick me with like Papa John's, or it was actually like 30 pounds.
I would not blink twice if there was a restaurant that's like serving dinosaur bone.
I would
pizza.
because I feel like that would break multiple laws.
It could, yeah.
You know.
If it's bones from an animal that is not being cooked.
Well, that, but also like dinosaur bones. That can't be like. That's so exotic. It feels illegal.
Yeah,
You know,
right.
I'm like, I don't know who some government guy would put the kibosh on that somehow.
Probably.
But-
All right, last one. What do we got?
Okay. The first pizza delivery was done on roller skates. Mathematically, almost 10,000 pizzas are sold every minute in the world. Or according to one poll, of Americans who have tried pineapple on pizza, 14% say that it is their favorite topping.
To me, it's the roller skates that seems like the lie.
Okay, why?
Well, I can see it happening, but the first one being done on roller skates, like you mean the first commercial delivery, because somebody delivered pizza to their aunt who couldn't leave their house in 1857.
Yeah. Where did you say it was? You just said where it was. Where was it at?
Italy.
Okay.
So done on roller skates, I believe that is the lie. I could see pineapple being the favorite of that many people. Like that's a lot, but there are fanatics. And then what was the other one?
Almost 10,000 pizzas sold every minute.
Yeah, I feel like there's no way for me to know whether that's right or wrong, but 10,000 seems good every minute. Yeah, it makes sense. So I'm gonna lock in on the roller skates.
You are correct. It was a bicycle.
Yes. Yeah.
You are correct, which means we tie, right?
We tie, and unfortunately, we don't have time for any more. Though, Domino's once made a pizza with a chocolate crust as a limited time promotion.
No way.
They did.
That sounds horrible.
And the world record for eating the most pizza is held by a man who ate 40 pizzas in one sitting.
Were they big?
I don't know. My guess is like Jack's.
That's like Joey Chestnut level stuff right there.
Yeah, it is.
That's
Absolutely.
nuts.
All right. Moving on.
Question of the day.
All right. Question of the day. Joel, why don't you start us off with the question of the day?
Okay, Tyler. Would you rather never have frozen pizza again? Or would you rather never have takeout pizza again?
It's interesting because my question of the day is along the same lines.
Really? Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Would I never have frozen pizza again or never have takeout? Can you define takeout?
Something where you are getting it fresh and ready to eat. Say from Domino's, Pizza Hut, Papa John's.
Where do family style Italian pizza joints fit into this?
Takeout.
They are takeout? Okay.
Well, I would say I would almost put that in a separate category.
Okay, if it's between those...
If it's between takeout or frozen, which one are you getting rid of for the rest of
So
your life?
I can never have this again. But with the takeout, I have to go get it. With
Or have it
frozen
delivered.
pizza. Or, yeah, with frozen pizza. So the method, the mode, the cost, all of it.
Yeah.
Okay?
Basically, are you ever going to have pizza that you want to dip in ranch again? Or are you ever going to just have...
Oh,
Papa
no,
John's again?
I dip takeout and ranch.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Huh.
Absolutely.
That's not super shocking.
I'm going, I would eliminate frozen pizza.
Okay.
Because in doing that, I would stimulate the economy to where we would have better chain pizza restaurants. I think eventually that would it would continue to uptick the economy
Your
there.
lone pizza intake is going to uptick the frozen pizza
Oh
economy.
no, I thought it was everybody.
I was saying you, but like...
Okay.
But that's fair. Let's go with that.
I would get
because-
rid of frozen for me or the world, and I would go with takeout. What about you?
It's really hard for me because I do enjoy them so differently. I think I would get rid of takeout
Okay.
because of the convenience aspect of it.
Yeah, that fits with you. That fits with you.
I really like the convenience of not having to go to another place for dinner. Now, if I had a family at this point in my life, I might love the convenience of not having to even put something in the oven.
Sure, of just being able to order
Just being
it.
able to order it, have a family style dinner, great. But for me, I love frozen pizza as a easy throw it in, get it done.
Okay. So then that might answer the question here, but my question of the day is, would you only ever eat and pay for frozen pizza or only ever eat and pay for restaurant quality pizza? Chains are eliminated.
Okay, only ever pay for restaurant quality or frozen?
Yep. So you have the quality, but you also have to pay the price for the quality. And the others are eliminated.
Here's the thing. I did not grow up around restaurant quality pizza.
Right, but
I never
now
had it.
you really
but now
enjoy
if
restaurant.
I do... See, I'm actually going to flip my answer here and say that if I could only have restaurant or frozen, I would take restaurant because of the quality. Because that's a peak of quality.
Yeah, you're
Right.
never able to have frozen again.
Yeah, I think I'd
So
be
you'd have to figure something else out.
I'd be willing to sacrifice frozen pizza for the option of being able to have really high quality pizza sometimes. I think I'd rather have that as opposed to because chain is like a mid ground on those things.
Yeah.
And I'd rather have the option of now and then going and getting really good quality pizza.
I would agree with you. You guys let us know what you think out there. Which one would you do? I would do restaurant quality pizza all day.
Yeah.
Now, I wouldn't go super often because it costs an arm and a leg.
Yeah.
But that is my answer.
Yeah.
What we learned today.
Tyler, what did we learn today?
Frozen pizza and true Italian restaurant pizza are entirely different foods, different categories, different chemical makeup. It is a different food altogether.
I learned that if you want it on a pizza, somebody's probably willing to put it on a pizza for you.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. Very good, very good. Well, thanks so much for tuning in with us for episode 7 of the Rapid Research Podcast. Next week, we're going to zero in on the Bermuda Triangle, answer some questions there, see what history has to say, and see if it is, in fact, fact or fiction.
I'm really excited about this one, not going to lie.
Are you? Yeah. I have no idea what we're going to be getting into.
That's
here.
why I'm really excited, because I feel like we're going to find a lot of stuff.
All right. Well, join us next time for that, episode 8, and we'll see you next time.
See ya.